Hi everybody and welcome to this qualifying round playthrough for a -17 in Pro Division of the Champ de Mars tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. Please hit thumbs up on the video, it helps me out massively, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We've got replays and adjustments, plenty of drops, and if I didn't drop them then I've got tweaks and suggestions of what you can do to get that ball in the hole. Plenty of extras to be had here on this wonderful Parc de Paris course. Leave me a comment, let me know how your round's going, and if you've got any suggestions of alternatives or tweaks, please share them in the comments section down below. Good luck everybody, here we go. Starting with hole 1, of course, and we have an eagle here. Going to recommend you play with a berserker, otherwise you would need to go full overpower on the drive. 4.5 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left, stretch out slightly to have the second bounce just between the bunker and the fairway up ahead. So second bounce in the rough. Look at how much you're stretching out. It was 1 ring for me with the extra mile 8. It will be a little bit more for extra mile 7. Adjust max plus 10, power 5. Then we adjust the push up the amount that we were stretching into. With extra mile 7 you might need to go with a little bit of overpower, but it should still be manageable. We hit perfect here after pushing up, and with our max plus 10 adjustment the ball bounces nicely, second bounce in the middle of the rough, exactly where we want, and it's going to roll out just before the tree shadow. Drive distance 365. Second shot we're going to play rings from min, RFM on the notepad, so find the minimum distance line with the thorn, add spin, max backspin, half a bar side spin to the right, then we count up the rings that we are pushing up to find the position. So there is 5 and there is 7, and then look at where the ball guide is with the thorn 8, then the ball guide is going just to the back edge of the cup, so we're going to bounce beyond the pin, the backspin is going to draw us back to the hole. Lower level thorn will have less ball guide. As I pushed up 7 rings from min, I placed 7% slider, 30% elevation. It is 1% on the slider for every ring from the minimum distance line. Nice and simple. We've got a tutorial on this as well on the Academy playlist on the channel homepage. So rings from min plus 30% elevation, power 5 falls beautifully for an eagle on the first hole. Hole number 2 is tough because the pin is so close to the front of the green. I'm going to show you an option with the Guardian. There are other ways you can play, but we've got a hole in 1 here, but it is difficult. And with the Guardian, you need to play with a power 1 ball. 8 backspin, 1 right spin. If you use anything other than a power 1, you may not have room to adjust. So I'm finding the spot here with the yellow ring with the Guardian level 7. Yellow ring just off the rough line, and look where the second bounce is. Beginning of the fringe, and then the third bounce is showing it's going to kick to the left. Important to find the right spot here. Mid plus 10 is the adjustment. I would be careful in higher winds though. You might want to over adjust the shot if you can, or go with a couple of clicks of under power. Reason being, we land very close to the rough here with a 6.2. Luckily I get it in with the third bounce in the cup directly. Not what I played for. And like I said, it might be prudent to go with a bit more backspin in higher winds and maybe set up a few clicks back or go with underpower. Take a token on that one, because if you get higher wind, it could otherwise be very, very difficult. So word of warning there on hole 2, but it's something to work from there on this par 3. Hole number 3, we're going to play with the big topper and the big dog. Make sure you got the right clubs packed in your bag. 8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left with a Titan, setting up at max distance with a big topper level 5 with a power 3 ball. And look at the second bounce and the rest of the ball guide. It is pointing at the edge of that rough on the right hand side of that little bottleneck of fairway. Different plus yards if you're using big topper level 6, of course. We're going to adjust this one max distance, 20% elevation. Max plus 20, no need to push up, just leave it where it is. Then we go with half a ball of curl to the left and hit perfect. Very important to hit perfect when you're using the big topper due to low accuracy. Bounces very nicely though and finds the centre of the fairway and rolls up into this first tree shadow. Drive distance of 373. Second shot, very difficult to get an albatross, so this is more of a safe route to green for the eagle. We're going to go with a 1 bar of backspin, 1 bar of right spin with the big dog at max distance. Look at where the ball guide is pointing there. Second bounce before the green, and then the rest of the ball guide pointing on the green. The adjustment max plus 0 here, maximum distance, 0 elevation. If you're on a different drive distance, if it varies dramatically, you might need to push up a little bit or alter the spin, but the idea is just to get to green for a simple putt or a very, very short wedge for the eagle. This pin placement is tough to drop the albatross, coming in a bit to the right, but the eagle is locked in safe and sound on hole number 3, par 5. Nice simple 1-to-1 adjustment here on hole 4. We're going to use a katana, and it's 0.8 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right. Then we set up with the white ring touching the rough and the first bounce or the bullseye directly over the shadow. So 2 references there, and then you'll see with spin added, the tip of the ball guide just going into the shadow on the green. 1-to-1 adjustment, so 6 miles an hour in wind. We're going to go 6 rings. So 1-to-1. Make our adjustment here. Final part of the equation. Never nice to use curl on a par 3, but we need to here. So look at the edge of the ball. It is halfway into the adjustment wall on the right. We call that 0.9 ball curl to the right. That is the thing that you need to replicate, of course, and look out for any wind angle tweaks, but the curl brings us in very nicely for a hole-in-one on hole number 4. Hole number 5, we're going to play with the katana and the extra mile. 4.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, with the extra mile level 8 setting up at +1 with the yellow ring touching the rough. Extra mile 7 will be at +3, extra mile 9 would be at +0. Once you've found the position with spin added, you'll see the ball guide pointing right down the middle of the next piece of fairway. Then we're going to adjust maximum distance, 5%. Elevation, max +5, power 2 settings. Now you need a pen and paper ready on this one. You'll see the second shot, we've got DD +0. That means drive distance, so you're going to want to note down your drive yardage here. Perfect ball away. No curl, no overpower. The right spin kicks us nicely down the middle of the fairway. Drive distance, 328 yards. Now for a 328 yard drive, we're going to play 84% on the slider, 0 elevation. Max backspin, half a bar side spin to the left. And we find our position with the second bounce, 1 green square above the pin, and the ball guide then falling back towards the pin, centre of the cup. Zoomed in there so you can replicate that position as precisely as you can. 328 yard drive is 84% slider. If you've got a longer drive, you reduce the slider, so 330, you'd play 80% slider. It's 2% per yard. The adjustment here is made over the bullseye because I want to add that extra 0.1, so make sure you pull your rings over the bullseye as well. We've got tutorials on that, and also the slider on the Academy tutorial playlist. Drops very nicely for the eagle with that max backspin shot on hole number 5. Nice albatross here for you on hole 6. We're going to go with the extra mile and a kingmaker because we need 3 bars of side spin for the second shot. 4.5 top spin on the drive though, 1 bar right spin. And we're going to set up with the yellow ring touching the rough at +7 with the extra mile level 8. That will be +9 with the extra mile level 7. We're going to push adjust the rings here because the trees otherwise will be in the way. So max +10, power 3 settings. And then we're going to take our shot. Don't worry about the ball guide disappearing. The wind will push it away from the tree. If you are worried about a great right, then I would play with a little bit of left curl, or you remove the 1 bar of right spin. Just have a look at where that bounce was. Fairly close to the bunker. A great right would have been in the sand. So if you want to great proof it, then just remove the right spin or play with some left curl instead. Drive distance there, you could see that's going to be fairly consistent with this shot. Second shot, we're going to play a rough bump. If this isn't for you, then just bounce over and get your eagle instead. We're going to add half a bar of backspin and 3 bars side spin to the left. just going to change to half a bar. I had about 0.3, but we want about 0.4 to half a bar. Red ring touching the top of the rough, ball guide just through the hole, as you can see there. Now we're going to use our landing position plus yards. So for +5 with the sniper level 9, that will be +3 with the sniper level 10. We're going to play this one 70% slider, 0 elevation. Once again, pushing rings because we drop down into the bunker and the tree is in the way. Adjust as accurately as you can. As you will see, the rings do glitch a little bit when it falls into the bunker. So adjust slowly, do 4 at a time, and then the remaining rings. Just try and find a nice place to adjust from. Rewind the video and watch how I adjust there, because chances are you're going to get the same issue with this wind angle. Perfect ball though, drops very nicely. The final thing I did there, because my adjustment took me into the bunker, is when I played the shot, I added a few clicks of overpower. So if you rewind, you'll see the bottom of the Kingmaker is just touching the bottom teeth of the adjustment ring. So that's the final part, otherwise you may come in slightly short on hole number 6. We have headwind on hole 7. We're going to play with a quarterback and a Titan. Find your position first with the blue ring touching both the rough on the right and the sand on the left. Then we add spin, and I'm going with 1 bar of backspin, 2 bars side spin to the right on this one. If you have lower wind, I would put a little bit more backspin on, maybe 1.2 bars. Some of you may want to play with a Kingmaker, in which case I would go 1.5 backspin because the wind won't push you as much. 1-to-1 adjustment, so 6 miles an hour in wind. I'm going 6 rings and I'm going to hit perfect, and this is just a nice layup shot in this difficult wind angle, and we're going to approach the end of the fairway. Drive distance of 263 yards. Second shot, I've put the adjustment on the screen that I played. That is 70% slider, 0 elevation. As you can see here, it's difficult to get a plus yardage value because there's just fairway everywhere. The top of the white ring there was touching the beginning of the fringe at max with the Grizzly 8. So that would be a reference that you might want to use if you're trying to replicate, or you could go off drive distance as well. I go with no spin here with the ball guide through the hole by 1 green square, but it's not enough. So I would find this position, then I would suggest 1 bar of top spin, because this one comes in with a nice line, but unfortunately it's short, and we don't want to be short. We want to have enough pace to get in the hole for the eagle. So this one was adjusted 70% slider, 0 elevation. You can tweak from there based on your drive distance, or you may need to modify your setup point as well with using different spin, but that will be my suggestion. Go with a bar of top spin, see how you get on. Perfect ball, as you can see, coming in with a nice line, but just a little bit short. Could maybe you've used another 0.2 on the adjustment as well. So take a token or two. Let me know in the comments section if you managed to tweak that one and drop the eagle on hole 7. On hole 8, you need to start with a sniper and a power 5 ball. We're going to find the minimum distance line with a power 5 ball, yellow ring touching the rough. Once we've found our position, we're going to go with a katana, because you need just over 1 bar of side spin. 1 bar backspin. In the video I go with 1.2 left spin. Just need to tweak it. However, this hole is tough, and the wind strength and wind angle will have an effect. So it may be one where you need to tweak the spin depending what wind strength you get. The adjustment is mid +5, power 2 settings. Mid +5, power 2. Perfect ball away. Let's see how we come in here. Bouncing close to the rough, so bear in mind a great right may be dodgy on this one, so try not to hit great right if you want to go with this setup. Just missing on the left hand side, so maybe 1.1 left spin would be better on that one, but bear in mind the wind angle and the wind strength has a huge effect on that one because of the high second bounce. But something for you to work with on hole number 8. And finally on to the difficult hole number 9. Going to play with the rock and the Kingmaker. We're going with 0.2 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. If you have a higher wind speed or you're worried about accidentally overpowering, then I would remove the top spin, maybe go with 0.1 backspin just in case. Blue ring touching the rough at max with the rock level 7, plus 15 yards it would be, of course, plus 10 with the rock level 8, plus 9 with the rock level 9. We adjust max plus 0, it's 1-on-1 with this club level, and then we're going with curl to the left as shown. Like I said, if you're worried about being that close to the rough, just dial the top spin back, but in my opinion, unless you're inadvertently overpowering this shot a lot, you are going to be fine and you will be on the fairway. Second shot is just to get to green for a wedge. Playing with the big dog or the Cataclysm, whichever has stats that you prefer the most. Find max distance, bullseye in the middle of the 2 trees. Then we go 6 top spin, 3 right spin, and you can see there the ball guide just going to bounce before the edge of the rough and then roll out. Nice wind angle here for this hole. To be honest, in pro it is a tough one, and it's all about playing safe fairways and greens golf to get the eagle. Max plus 0, power 3. No need to push up unless you are a little bit short and you've had to stretch out to find your position after you drive. Then I would recommend pushing up the amount of rings you have to stretch into. But here we were absolutely fine, and we roll very nicely to the fringe, and that's going to be a very simple wedge for the eagle on hole number 9. Thank you so much for watching this video for the Champ de Mars tournament here on the channel. Please join us over on Facebook as well. Over 10,000 members, shot sharing, discussion points, and there are other great content creators posting free guides as well, all designed to help you improve your gameplay. So head on over to Facebook, join us there, submit your shots, join in the discussion. Look forward to catching up with you over there as well. Thank you for watching, everybody, and good luck and enjoy your Golf Clash games. See you soon. Bye for now.